So there's the old saying by Peter Drucker, what gets measured gets managed. Basically, one of the things I've been looking at is to see quantitatively, and being the geek that I am, track my progress. Anything that you're looking to improve on is you want to be able to track something on a foundational level in terms of at least how much work you're going to be putting in. As your attendance is being recorded, what part of the curriculum are you lacking in? What part of the curriculum are you covering stuff in? One of the things about Gracie Barra is, one of the things I appreciate is how they have a cyclical system in terms of their curriculum. And every 16 weeks, the whole thing resets. So check this out. So this is my basic attendance card. What I did was I ended up converting that, not only a copy for myself like I've done here, basically being able to track and measure progress. One of the things I basically wanted to do was to see if I am making progress along the lines of, hey, am I attending X number of times per month, coupled with am I attending X number of times per week. Now, it's one thing to track the data here. It's also another thing to be also tracking your notes. Now, this is the first version of my notes. I would write them down, scan them, and then we did round 2, which was a combination of scanning my existing notes coupled with also typing them out and just making some shots and stuff. Then I decided, you know what, let me just go ahead and make notes for each week in just one brief sweep. The next big thing was to ensure, hey, how am I tracking? So this is my actual data tracking sheet, right? We've got, based on, I just put in all the data corresponding from what I have here, right? So we've got the dates, we got the, so the year, the month, the date, the day in terms of what day of the week, what the activity is, fundamentals, as well as what the week is in terms of week 1, 2, 3, and what we were covering in terms of the core of the content, guard bottom, side mount, guard top, etc. Put that data right over here, and then I pivoted that data in the actual spreadsheet itself. This is where actually all of that information actually is. Put the data here, put it in the pivot table in terms of what I want to be able to see, in terms of what position am I covering. This gives me the data for that. If I don't want the position, I just pull that out in terms of what week are we covering. Have I spent the appropriate amount of time within each appropriate week? Now, what I could do is I can even just go ahead and turn this into a graph, and bam, and I'll be able to see exactly. So based on week, and if I didn't want to do week, I could go back, put it into position, boom, the data itself updates. But anyway, what I did was I actually have a objectives and key results document, which I keep for myself for every week, and I have and I print it out. So this is the quarter 2 version that I'm putting together. Basically, earn a Gracie blue belt with Gracie Barra. What that means, this is the objective, the key result in terms of what I need to do for myself is complete 150 hours of technical training and 100 hours of live sparring. This is what I would want to put in for myself. First quarter is already done here. Then we have April, May, June coming up. Highlighted is the month of Ramadan. And so, and these are basically things I'm looking at how long it might take me. I could be wrong, but this is just my forecast. So, but the key thing here is complete 30 hours of technical training in quarter 2. Each class is 1 hour technical training, assuming I can earn my 3rd stripe by April 27, blah, blah, blah. The other thing is complete another 20 hours in addition to that of live training, 1 hour specific live training, focus on any one of the particular techniques that I need to work on. Now, the thing is, when I wrote down this objective and key result, my question then became, is how much do I need to focus on in these areas in terms of the specific movements? And that's why I did the data tracking. I basically made a whole for year 1, which will end on May 15th officially, but year 2, I'm just go ahead and tracking it for 2019. And then, and I've also broken it down by week. And I do this with all of my major goals, essentially. And this is my quarterly tracking, so month 1, month 2, month 3, and broken down by week as well in terms of what we're gonna be working on. I can just leave some notes for myself here. As you'll notice, I have Austin Open listed here and so on. But going back to how many hours of technical training, essentially classes have I attended within fundamentals for each week 1 through 16. This is how many hours I've attended thus far. And then when it comes to the specific position of training, guard bottom, guard top, side mount top, knee on belly, mount or knee on belly bottom, mount knee on belly top, back turtle defense, back turtle offense. And as you'll notice here, now this is something that now the side mount bottom, this is something that I realized was also low at 5 over the last month or so, and I've been trying to bring this back up because guard top and guard bottom training, we do a lot of that, and Gracie Barra is actually known for having a great guard game. But couple that with side mount as well as back and turtle defense, this is some of the things I'm keeping on training. Now, what my goal is to hit 20 hours across the board, and so. Am I putting in the actual amount of work to get to that? At least on a fundamentals level, this is what I'm going to be looking at. And I'm also kind of got myself little picture references for what we're going to be covering for each of the weeks going forward. Also put together my little flow in terms of what I've come to understand. I think the next level of this chart is going to be looking at submissions, or at least looking at it from a position of like whether I'm going, not only just the position here on the core level, but how are my escapes, how's my ability to control, how's my ability to or defend against other submissions versus be able to attack on my own submissions, and so kind of develop in terms of the general defensive game and how does it go into the actual offensive game, but developing the specifics around that for myself. So this is one of the things I put together, hoping to continue my progress in the area. I think it's a good idea, at least on a fundamental level, which is before you hit your first 150 hours, which is I think majority of folks who train in Jiu-Jitsu, the idea is to track the work that you're putting in. The results will follow. In terms of how fast you get to the results varies from person to person. At least that's what I've observed in my case, even in sport to sport. So now it's just a matter of seeing, okay, what are my baselines? This is what I've tracked almost over the course of a year, what my baselines are in terms of the days I'm attending, in terms of in the days of the week, which happens to be Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. These are my optimal, easiest days to attend. Couple that with I've also found that looking at the tracking and coupling with the fact that every other day or 2 days back to back is good, but doing 4 days maximum is like one of those things where it'd be great to be able to push that limit a little bit further. Optimizations in terms of knowing what weeks I need to work on, what specific things I need to work on, so that I can develop a game and understand the chain reactions between the different moves and things like that. But all of it comes through knowing what to track, how to measure your progress, and this is one of the ways that you can do it. Super effective. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. I'll see you soon.